Hello, it's 5th of April 2026, 2 days after India unceremoniously bowed their heads out of the FIBA 3x3 Asia Cup. I made a video a couple of days ago about how proud I was about India winning all three of their games in the qualifying draw to go into Pool D. Here I am 2 days later, sat making a video about how disappointed I am in their performance. Don't get me wrong, this does not take away anything from what they did in the first three games, but these two next games against Qatar and New Zealand, they were nothing like the first three games. India looked like a shell of their former selves. So I'll just be talking a bit about the games, maybe trying to analyze what went wrong, going through some clips, what I thought were some crucial points in the game, and where I thought the game really turned around in favor of the opponents, against India. India did better last time. I expected a lot more, and I am disappointed to say the least. There's a way to lose, and this was not it. You can lose in a good way and put up a good fight, and then go out, and nobody would have any issues. Heck, they can even be complaints against the referee, and I wouldn't have had an issue against the team. But my God, the way that we lost, the way that Team India lost, that was not one of those ways to lose. That was not a good way to lose. So before we start off, obviously we can see Pool D over here. Um, New Zealand at the top. They won both their games against Qatar and India. Qatar number two, and India third with no games won. The first game of the day, that was against New Zealand, and I'm not even going to cut them any slack because just because the first game of the day, and maybe they might be a little rusty or whatever, they had an entire day's worth of rest, so they had plenty of time to prepare themselves for the game. For the New Zealand game, I think we started off pretty well. We did take a 3-0 lead at the beginning, and to the point where New Zealand also had three early fouls and we were up three. I think at one point we were up 4 as well, if I'm not wrong. But there were concerning signs from the very beginning because India was making very tough shots. There were no easy looks. We weren't getting a lot of ball movements into a lot of easy shots. This is not sustainable, and this obviously was exposed very quickly. What ended up happening was India started going to a lot of ISO ball. We started off with Harsh Thakur, Arvind Muthukumar, and Pranav Prince in the starting lineup. Good players, all three of them good players. Won't take away anything from them, but they were playing ISO ball. Let's be straight. There was no ball movement. Like I said, everything about running plays in the last game, all of that went out of the window. They were playing ISO to the point that one person got the ball and the other two were just flaring out to the corners, waiting for something to happen. They made the first three shots good. As soon as they stopped making shots, they were not crashing the glass for defensive rebounds. The rebounding score on this is actually they're even. Like they both got 21 rebounds, both teams. But honestly, watching the game, it did not feel like that at all. Even the defensive rebounding and offensive rebounding is pretty even. But I'll be honest, it felt like New Zealand just kept crashing the crucial rebounding and kept boxing out our players, especially Pranav. Pranav's our tallest player, right? And I would say he's a main rebounder, but he's also essentially a big wing. We don't have a pure power forward or a center on the team who can really physically body other players and box out and give us a chance to like really rebound and get dominance. The more you rebound, the more positions you have, and it really felt like we did not have as many positions and we did not make as much of the positions that we did have. It was weird. Like the numbers clearly say that we did have enough rebounds, but it did not feel like that, to be completely honest. There was something that kept happening which I found really funny. Like we kept slipping on the court. This did not happen in just New Zealand's game. It also happened in Qatar's game. I don't know what's going on. FIBA, fix your courts, man. What are you doing? We were just slipping all the time. Not just India. New Zealand players were slipping. Qatar players were slipping. I don't know what was going on. Basically, didn't allow India to get a chance on offense. They would get the ball. They would try to run an action. The first action would fail. They would go into ISO ball and take a shot, bad shot, contested shot, and miss. And the rebound would go to New Zealand. And my God, it's not just a game about defense, right? New Zealand were defending really good. But their player, David Lewis, number 13, he can hit some ridiculous shots. He hit some crazy demoralizing shots with like defenders all over him. Like our players had our hands right up to his face. They were like this, and he was still making shots. He made like three pointers, which is not a lot on paper, but there were some really like demoralizing shots. The India are down by this one, but it's still pretty close. So look at this. They run one action, it does not work. What happens next? They're just going to ice a ball. Pranav goes up for the shot, tough shot, misses it, and then he just fouls them. This is what was happening. constantly. Right after this play, New Zealand gets a ball. This is number 13 on the right. Who's the guy who caught the ball? Look at that. Look at that defense from Hirsch. Right in his face, but he still made the shot regardless, man. And finally, like I said, we were just not able to defend their plays, man. Like, good defense from Pranav here, forcing the miss. But once again, they didn't even attempt to run a play. He just went in for the shot, like a reckless shot, and then he fouled him, and then he's putting his hands up, complaining about it. This is the kind of stuff which continued again. It just kind of devolved. Muthu Krishna and Kushal just kind of, ran into each other, and there was a spit hole, this whole thing. But, they hugged it out later, so I'm sure it was fine. Anyway, that was the first game, and going on to the second game against Qatar, we still had some hope. We still could have won this game and maybe continued on to the knockout rounds, but that was not destined to happen for India. This match started off worse than the game against New Zealand because Qatar just got quick 3 points, and they were easy points. They were like easy drive-ins. They were straight drives to the basket with no contest, with no. India was just not putting up any sort of defense or physicality against Qatar for whatever reason. They were just able to find their way inside. I'll be honest, the referees did make some pretty iffy calls this game. Like, there were some calls which I did not like at all. There were some pretty weird calls. I mean, like I mentioned, the slipping happened again, and on one of the slips, one of the Qatar players just slipped, and they called it a foul on India for whatever reason. At one point, Pranav or Kushal, I think he took a gather step and went in for the layup, made the shot, and that was called for travel. So, some weird calls there. But to be honest, even if we got those calls in our favor, I think India was still going to lose. The ball movement, to be fair to India, was better in this game. I guess they kind of woke up from the first game, made some better ball movement, but after going down again, they just went back to ISO ball. In this game, it was a little bit more obvious, the rebounding difference, because they had a total of 27 rebounds and India only had 18 rebounds compared to them. And the biggest difference was the offensive rebounding. They had 11 offensive rebounds to India's 6 offensive rebounds. That's just not going to work, man. They just had more possessions because they just kept rebounding the ball over and over again. Heck, they even had more defensive rebounds. They had 16 defensive rebounds. Although we took that similar number of shots, but our shot quality was awful. We were taking quick shots. We were not going into plays. We were just chucking the ball up, frankly speaking. Yeah, still 1-1 tie game, but look at this, man. Easily up. There was no resistance at all. And then further down the line, they ran a play. And what's going on here, Hirsch? The play starts over here on the right side. Arvind is setting a screen for Pranav, off-ball screen, good. Why is Hirsch taking a shot? I get that he's got a bit of space, but there is absolutely no chance for rebounding. When both of his players, teammates, are involved in running a play on the other side, on the weak side, how is he, like, if he makes a shot, good. If he doesn't make the shot, which frankly speaking, he hasn't made a single three all day today. So at least wait for a rebounder to get into position, right? Wait for someone to box out. But no, he just did not wait. He took the shot. Missed the shot clearly. This was the kind of stuff which continued. There was a few more plays like this. You can see here, they were just getting rebounds, man. They got offensive rebounds, made the shot, very demoralizing plays. Again, did not give herself a chance on offense at all. Just took a bad shot, missed the rebound. Look at this boxing out, man. This guy takes a shot, Muthu Krishnan takes a shot. There's no rebounds. Both of their opponents are boxing out so well. Physicality, like I mentioned last time, this was something that India might struggle with, and they did struggle with this. Makes an easy pass inside, and he gets it to go. After this, again, did not wait for a set play, just recklessly drove in, and the ball went out of bounds. So it really did feel like India got pretty demoralized and started playing recklessly, frankly speaking. And then Pranav takes himself out of the play. They weren't even making shots from outside. And then, stuff like this started happening where the ball was slipping out of their hands. So not a great day out for India, but there it is. India is knocked out of the FIBA 3x3 Asia Cup. What's next for India? What's next is that in July, they will be having the Asia qualifier matches for the FIBA 2027 World Cup. And they'll be playing Qatar in Lebanon, and hopefully they'll be putting in a much better performance after learning from their performances in the 3x3 Cup. I'll be reviewing them. Let me know what you guys think about the performances, about how India played. I still have hope, man. They're really good players. They just need more practice and more better coaching, to be honest. I have hope. I'm still back in India. Disappointed, but we move. We keep trying again. We're still gonna support them. Let me know what you guys think about Team India's performance down in the comments. We'll discuss. I saw some comments from last video. They were pretty nice. Pretty nice to interact with others about this too. But anyway, if you like the video, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe if you enjoyed it as well. Have a nice one.